when I see the young people carrying the movement forward.
Nah.
Rakia Woods.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to do the first principle, which is Umoja, and I want to pay homage to the founder because he gave us something that's ours. No matter your religion, no matter your faith, no matter your beliefs, it's for the Black culture and it brings us together as a whole. And with the first principle, unity, it brings all the other principles together, right? We have to have that village. We have to have that village before we have cooperative economics. We have to have that village before we have self-determination. We have to have that village before we can have responsibilities and work together. So with this first principle, it's vital for the Black culture. Unity. So this is open. I want it to be interactive. So I just want to ask a few people, when you hear the words unity, what comes to mind? Togetherness, harmony. I like that one. Strategy. One more. What you said, Queen? Progressive. And I heard something over here. Organization. All right, let's get it. The definition of unity: a condition of harmony, accord, the quality or state of being made one, unification, the state of being united or joined as a whole. Within the Black culture, we have to realize we're not separated and we're not divided from one another. We're actually one and the same. And when we realize that, we can rise as a Black race. And so with the word unity, I want to bring up solidarity. And it's so funny, when I looked up unity, solidarity didn't even pop up, even though unity is within that word. So solidarity, and I wanted to do the etymology because over time they could change the meaning and the definitions of words. So what's the etymology of solidarity? Quality in the community of being perfectly united. Let me repeat that again. Quality in the community of being perfectly united. What is the actual definition? Unity as a group or class that produces or is based on community of interest, objective, or standard. Now, why do I have standard in capital letters? An idea or thing that is used as a measure, norm, or model. So within the Black culture, once we come together and then once we form solidarity, we can set that standard in our own 10 commandments on what we want in our Black culture. What's going to be acceptable and what's not going to be acceptable. So with unity, birth solidarity. And with solidarity, we can set that standard for our culture and for our race. And this is what's important, because solidarity can be a superpower. Now listen to this quote. That rediscovery of a deeper humanity which comes from collective solidarity. So once we come together as a race, we can come together with the other cultures of people, and then we can change the world. Community. You cannot spell community without spelling unity. Yes. And within our culture, I feel like we're missing. We have too many neighborhoods and not enough communities, right? We have too many people living next to each other. We're not organizing. We're not coming together as a people. So within our community, no, I feel like we don't have that. Within our culture, we need more communities and not just neighborhoods, right? So my question for the audience is, what does unity look like within your community? And I want to go first. And I'm glad Gym City went first because I already had it in my head. Go shop at Gym City. Spend your $25 a week. Because once we show that we can have one market, we're going to build other markets, right? That's what unity is. I have a great grandmother that depend on that market. It's two senior laws that depend on that market. It's families that walk there. If their cars can't get far, they can go there. We have to show them that we deserve a market. And once we can keep that one open and sustain it, then we can build other markets. There's no reason why they're not unsustainable. Go spend your $25 a week. If we can keep liquor stores up, if we can keep shoe stores up, if we can keep corner stores up, there's no reason for us not to have a market. You gotta think these corner stores not even serving y'all fruits and vegetables. Come on, y'all, and they can. Keep Gym City open. Yeah. What does unity look like within my community? There's so many Black organizations within the Dayton area, and there's no co-op for us. I know organizations that's been around as long as each other and they have no idea about each other. We have to put our egos aside. In order for us to see change, statistical change, we have to come together. It's too much division in these black organizations. So that opens the floor. What does unity look like within your community? Right. Anybody? Helping each other out. Come on. What's one more? Power. I'm sorry.
Seeing our identity as one.
Ashe. Give me one more. What does unity look like within your community? What do you want to see unity look like where you live at?
Even when there is disagreement, the larger idea is down the way. It's for the children. It's
the
7
youth.
Generations beyond.
Come
How
on
my
now.
actions here lead to the depth of our existence then and for our children. Yeah. So therefore, little stuff that happens, very deep stuff that happens, the greater idea is the guiding idea.
Generations. I love that. Yeah. Which was about to say, Mama?
It actually was very similar to what she was saying, because my idea of unity is that we have everybody. That we have the elders, we have whoever's in between, we have the babies, we even have the people who haven't even got here yet, because we're so ready for them.
Come on now.
So that's very much, yeah.
So you probably can't see this diagram in the back. So this is the hierarchy of needs. So we have the Western perspective on one side, and then we have the First Nations perspective on one side. I feel like within our culture, we've been systematically programmed and conditioned the Western perspective, and they put self first. You don't even see community or culture. We have to go back to the First Nations perspective, culture, community, and then self. We're a product of our environment, which means we're a product of our community. We're a product of our culture. And once we understand that, we can come together as a people. We've been so programmed the Western perspective to put self first. You don't come before your community. You're born into your households. You're born into your culture. You're born into your community, right? So once we realize that and we change our mindset from the Western perspective to the First Nations perspective, that's a way for us to come together, right? Unity.
All right.
Now, open to us again. What words or actions come to mind for the polarity of unity, the opposite? What do you think about when you think about the opposite of unity?
Rugged individualism.
Oh, got a little ring to it, don't it?
Chaos.
Oh, I like that one. Chaos.
Disorganization.
Disorganization. One more. I heard destruction. Did I hear that? Dissension.
Division.
Division.
Neglected greetings.
Division. What was that?
Lack of moving
Neglected
forward.
greetings.
Ashe.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So with this, I know we want it to be, fun and positive, but I feel like it will be watered down, or I wouldn't be authentic if we didn't talk about the opposite of unity, because I feel like that's what's going on within our culture. So some things I have to put disclaimers on if you ever see me do presentations, but this one is not too heavy, I promise. If you ever heard me talk, I say this: the Willie Lynch letter should be a mandatory read in every black household. Again, the Willie Lynch letter should be a mandatory read in every black household. Listen to what he said. Conditioning of division. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, should carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male against the young black male. The young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves against the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves against the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the male versus the female, and you must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female.
All right.
Now, with the conditioning of division stems the conditioning of self-hate. Now, listen to this. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kicks are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Generations, right, Ms. V? Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. He said at least 1,000 years, and if you use it right for the next, at least 300 years, and if you use it right for the next 1,000 years. What do self-hate look like within our community? The paper bag test. My great-grandma not allowed into black-owned establishments because her skin was darker than a paper bag, right? Black fraternities and sororities not letting you into black organizations because your skin is darker than a paper bag. The self-genocide that we see within our community, the fighting and killing and shooting each other, and then we're glorifying it on top of that, right? The conditioning of hate that we hate what we see when we look in the mirror. This is the conditioning of self-hate that has been running through us through generations. What else does self-hate look like? The man versus the woman, right? The broken households that we see. 90% of black children will be born in broken homes. That's not unity. That's division. We have to learn to come together. And this is why Kwanzaa is so important, because it's not just a holiday. It's about principle. It's about standing on principle. And if you instill it in your household, right, it spills over into the communities. This is why Kwanzaa is important.
Yay.
Now I just have a quick video to show y'all.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll? Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because he's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Me?
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
What did Willie Lynch say? They must love, trust, and respect only us. We're looking at kids that think about themselves like that. They not no older than 1st grade. They not no older than 7 or 8 years old, and they've been conditioned, psychologically programmed to think of themselves as less.
All right.
Which doll is...
So I say that to say self-love is unity. We have to instill self-love into our community. Before we can teach it to the youth, we have to teach it to ourselves. We have to tell them what melanin is. And this is the thing, we can't expect for the oppressors to teach the oppressed about what makes them superior. We teach our kids what melanin is. We teach them to love their features. We teach them that the darker they are, the closer they are to God. We teach them that their hair is not nappy, it's coil and kinky. We teach them that their hair is one of the only things on this planet that defies gravity. We teach them that we go against the law of physics. We teach them who we are. We teach them our story, because for so long he taught us his history, right? We teach them that when 99% of Europe was illiterate, Africans went with libraries and cathedrals and bathhouses, right? We teach them who we are before slavery. You see, they drop a slave, 3, 4, 5 slave movies a year. We teach them who we were before that. We had a history rich thousands of years. We teach them who they come from, so they know to love themselves. So once they love themselves and they look in the mirror and they love what they see, it won't be so easy for us to fight and kill each other, right? We have to instill self-love within our culture, within our youth, and within our communities. What else does self-love look like? Self-care. For so long, and just real quick, psychological slavery, epigenetics shows that psychological trauma such as slavery can be inherited and passed down through the DNA. And within our culture, we still see this work, no break. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to not overwork. And within the black community, majority of the black women have to, they play both of the roles in the household, right? To where they see their moms do it, then they moms see their moms doing it. And nobody is saying it's not wrong, but when we seeing it, we think it's right. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be tired. Self-care is a form of self-love, right? And self-care is also a form of mental wellness. Again, this is why Kwanzaa is important. Implementing and instilling these principles into our household that can spill over into our communities. And you don't have to say this out loud, but I want you to think about this. What are 3 things that you love about yourself? Ashe. So I'm going to end it with this. United we stand, unity. Divided we fall, division. We keep looking outside of our communities for help, and we're all the help that we need. We have to stop looking for saviors in other people and realize that we're the saviors within ourselves. Statistically speaking, the black people in America put over $1.1 trillion into the economy. We are our generational reparations. We are all the help that we need, right? We just need to form unity and solidarity. And for so long, we've been doing this because this is black power, right? But I want this to be black unity. Because when we put that fist up, we're using it against each other. And it ain't really got us nowhere in decades. We got to do this for black unity, right? Because this is what they afraid of. This is what they don't want. This is what we need. Because once we come together as a people and we push peace, and we come together as a culture, that's what they don't want. Because once we come together, then we come together with other people and then we rise. That's not what they want. So for so long, we've been doing this, but we've been using it against each other. And that's what's been keeping us down. We got to throw up the peace sign. It's black unity. And I want everybody to throw it up and say black unity. United we stand, or divided we fall.
All right.
And just one thing, and I just want to say this. My people will perish from a lack of unity. My people will perish from a lack of self-care. My people will perish from a lack of solidarity. My people will perish from a lack of peace. So I want us to come together as one. United we stand, divided we fall. It's healing season. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was an honor.